still don't care. Anytime, anywhere.
And now, the World Tag Team Champions.
Cock back the hammer, watch me lay him down. Saw face the villains, we don't play around. Nobody make a sound. Oh! Grab your women and children and get the safer ground. The king's done like the Jamaican town. Futuristic flow, dark start with a laser sound. Leaving nothing but a vapor trail. And my bass heavyweight, no shake, I'ma break the scale.
Inspector, we have followed your instructions to the letter.
Let me just cut to the chase. You have a bucket of weight.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the WrestleCollective Weekly Podcast. I am your host, Jordan Slick Blair Carter. But of course, as always, I'm never here alone, always here with the collective crew. Filling in for the one, the only, the advocate today. It's our main man, Dev. Dev, how you doing today, man?
I'm good. Glad to be filling in for that other guy. Try to give him a chance, gave him opportunity after opportunity, and he just will not capitalize. So he'll be paying his dues, working his way back up. As God intended.
Oh my God. I can't wait till we turn these episodes into audio so I can just go back and that was funny. We're also joined by the one, the only, the grumpy Omega.
Another Thursday, another podcast episode. I'm ready.
Also, I don't know where I'm oriented, to my left or right, but this man here with stressing out about his Jets tonight, hoping they make a pretty good pick. The man who makes it all happen, Ryan, Big Graps. How you doing today, man?
I'm losing years off my life no matter what happens.
Shout out to Andrew. Yeah, y'all are nerve. Me as a Cowboy fan, hey, I realized a long time ago they draft terribly. I don't care.
You guys have drafted like good in the first round the past couple years though.
Yeah, but like
Tyler Booker.
But the rest of the team needs to it doesn't. The Cowboys are never able to get everything all at once.
If Jerry Jones could just be normal.
Do you guys remember the day of our first episode and the Cowboys drafted hilariously?
What?
The day of our first pilot. Remember?
Was it?
No, that was in November.
That was
like in the middle of football season.
Oh, you're right,
we haven't hit a year yet. I mean, we're close on the year of doing this show.
We're about halfway.
Yeah. Because I'll never forget the debut episode. I was in New York. Yeah. I'll never forget that. Great show. Great. Speaking of, not necessarily New York, but a little bit further out,
Big American football fan.
Big American football fan, right? Joining us from across the pond, the one, the only, Mr. Hannibal Scourge. How you doing?
Guys, it's brilliant to be back. It's another week. It's another WrestleCollective podcast. And I'm going to be happy to be here. I mean, I'd be happy if, obviously Advocate was here, but, devil do.
Yes.
Thank you, Advocate.
But just because Advocate isn't here, we got to keep the tradition going. Ryan, Graps, what happened this week in wrestling history?
Let's find out. So if I pull it up here, once again, my apologies. I usually don't do this. I got to get it off my.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I typically elect to you when not.
No, I get it. Smart. April 21st, 2004. TNA's 94th weekly pay-per-view at the Nashville Coliseum. AJ Styles beat Jeff Jarrett in a steel cage match to win the NWA World Title. I was less than a year old when this happened, so I don't really have much to say.
You were there.
I didn't get to watch it.
But you were there.
I was there.
Yeah.
You
were there though.
Yeah. As always. Did anyone watch this?
Can I say I watched it? No, this was like maybe a year before I really got into but I even knew what TNA was. This was maybe like a year, 2 years before, because for me, I remember them doing like weekly pay-per-views and stuff like that. You would see commercials, but it was something I never really thought of. And then they didn't pique my interest until Sting. And I want to say Sting made his like first debut like not too long after this.
Yeah, because he showed up for like a one-off. I think maybe a couple.
Yeah, it was a quick one-off.
He went back in hiding to like what 05?
Yes.
And teased the retirement like upon his debut.
Well, so
like as a full-time performer. But yeah,
Christian Cage got me into TNA.
Nice.
Christian Cage actually was the only T-shirt I had from TNA, actually.
But Brandon brought it up in the comments, and it did jog my memory. You know, I was there. This was AJ's first world title win, and unfortunately, you know, Vince Russo bullshit reared his ugly head. So, you know, this was big moment for AJ. But you know, Vince Russo looked in the mirror and said, "You get in there and you make this about Vince Russo."
It was the early noughties. What do you expect? Let's be honest. My TNA was such a weird kind of, because the only way you could watch it at that time outside of America was tape trading. There was nowhere you couldn't watch it online because video streaming hadn't really become a thing yet, and there was no one was showing it in the UK. So I traded tapes to watch TNA pay-per-views. I'd normally get 2 or 3 on a tape, but I couldn't be consistent, so I didn't actually see this till years later, unfortunately. But
now you can find it on TNA Plus or Daily Motion
nowadays.
Yeah.
Soda's got a link somewhere. 19 years ago today, in Earl's Court, London, over in Hannibal's neck of the woods, relatively, on WWE Raw, of course, we got the rematch of the WrestleMania 23 WWE title match between John Cena and Shawn Michaels that famously went about 55 minutes. Fun fact about this one, if you're to go look at it now on the WWE Vault YouTube channel, which is, I think, the only official, you know, recording of the match that's out there now, there's about 15 minutes chopped off. It only comes in with entrances in the backstage segment to around 45.
Wow.
If there's anyone that could have been at this match feasibly, of course, but besides myself, it would be Hannibal. Were you there?
I almost did. I wasn't, but yeah, I think the tickets were too expensive. I think the tickets were about £30, and I couldn't. I was like, "That's too much money to go watch WWE."
Isn't it true that John used to put the STF on for realsies?
Yeah, I think I've heard some wrestlers say it was a little tight.
Okay.
Yeah,
little snug.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, because just with this particular picture, I'm just wondering how snug he's got that in.
Well, I mean, based on like the lock here, right? Because it's not like it's an S lock. He's grabbing his own arm, and you can clearly see like it's not like around the neck; it's more around the side of the head.
Yeah.
So I think this was after, you know, someone told him, "Hey, lighten up, kid."
But that would still hurt your ears, though. That's quite a grip, you know.
I mean, unless he's squeezing his own arm.
Infamously, wasn't there a time where he put it in on Jericho, and Jericho immediately tapped?
I'd have to find it, but it sounds familiar. I remember, I don't remember from which wrestler, but they were telling the story of, because this was like, once again, early in Cena's main event days. And, you know, he's, you know, because he's the top guy there, it's like, all right, now I got to go out with the boys and, you know, keep up, set an example. And he was plastered the night before. And he gets, I forget who told him, was like, hey, by the way, you're going 60 with Shawn tomorrow.
What year was this again? 2000?
This is 07. This was 19 years ago today.
Yeah.
Fun fact, on his birthday.
Oh, I mean, what I can tell you is Earl's Court is an absolutely horrendous venue. I think they only ran it a couple of times. It's a nightmare to get to, but that's the least of its problems. It is a massive exhibition hall. It's used to, like, for companies to do like big exhibitions and stuff. And you can see, like, I mean, this picture makes it look better than it actually is. But where all the people are like above in that picture, it's because there were 2 floors, and that's essentially like the balcony. That's the balcony. So,
What did you go to L's Court for?
Excellent. The ideal home show. It's very hard to describe, but it would be where companies would like show off like latest technology. I remember going there in 2000, 2001, and seeing this crazy device that it was said could hold 5,000 songs in your pocket. And I remember talking to my dad and going, "That's never going to take off." It was the iPod.
You got to be kidding me. That's what I was going to joke. Be like, oh, was it the iPod or whatever?
Like it literally was the iPod. And I was like, yeah, I wasn't keen on the dial thing on it. I'd already seen some other MP3 players, and I was just like, it's too basic. It's not going to take off.
Yeah.
2 years later, I had one. So.
What do you know? So this last one, I had to do it for Dev, but I don't know if this is his case. I had to make an assumption here.
Sure.
Also, April 21st, like our first one, but in 2016. This was at a live event in Lowell, Massachusetts. If any gears are starting to turn for anyone, NXT, Samoa Joe beat Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. And they had teased it, right? Going in for a couple weeks on NXT TV, with the pay-per-view coming up. But instead of having him win it on television where people could see it, they decided to do the title switch where, nobody outside of the building could see it.
So like Grumpy, I know this is around the time where you like lapsed on your fandom. This NXT Black and Gold was full of hoopers.
From what I hear,
there's a good bit of the AEW roster there now.
Like, I mean, like this this Joe, this Finn Balor, dog, like you was locked in. This was around the time Sasha Bailey, you know what I'm saying, was going at it. Like this NXT Black and Gold thing, especially this moment too, because like Finn's dominance was something to be seen, bro.
I think Sammy was like he was there, but I think he was out with an injury at the time.
Yeah,
if I remember. But like this was around him, which he's had his own situations recently.
I think this is probably one of the more satisfying NXT title wins. Like people were very, very excited to see Joe be NXT champion.
It was the most faith anyone had in him in
a while.
At least at like half a decade.
Well, no, I'd say about half a decade, because they gave him the reins in TNA, but
but he never really had it when Hogan and Bischoff were there.
When they came in, it changed up everything, and that's
because I think his last TNA title win was in what, like 2009,
something like that.
Yeah, it might have been earlier than that.
This was
in fact, he had one world title in TNA, which I couldn't believe.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Insane. Yeah, he should have at least had 2 to 3. But no, that's a great pool. That is a great pool right there.
I do have to ask, and I'll move on Dev up here real quick to see if he could beat the allegations. Dev, what do you remember about this with NXT?
Well, I came back. I was more tapped into Samoa Joe against Karrion Kross. That was like almost 5 years ago. I was more tapped into that NXT. I had to revisit 2016 because I was like the 4 Horsewomen breaking out. I had to go back. I wasn't. You are okay. Would have been nice to feature an NXT 2.0 in wrestling history, but arrange that myself.
It's not that old yet.
Yes, it is.
No.
It's
Once
historical.
Again, I know what you are.
It's so historical.
It's so historical.
It's the thing is, I said this last night on the space, like NXT Black and Gold. Well, could be either. No, NXT Black and Gold kept me a fan when like WWE was just like killing me emotionally of boredom. NXT Black and Gold was just like so good.
Man,
It's no wonder I gravitated to AEW when it launched.
I think a lot of old NXT Black and Gold fans right now are a lot of the AEW staunch fans. Like those, you know, I bet you that's a Venn diagram that would be pretty big.
I mean, look at what Ciampa did last night. He was a mainstay of Black and Gold,
right? Before we get into Ciampa, because we are going to talk. No, it's great. It gives something to people to look forward to.
No, I said the K word. We're on YouTube. Remember, it's unalived.
Yeah.
He almost unalived himself last night.
Oh,
yeah.
The psycho unaliver.
Clip that.
What the fuck?
Anyways, well, WrestleMania happened this weekend, and I was there. Had a great, fantastic time at WrestleMania. I want to give a big thanks, a big shout out to my man Andrew Baydala for shooting me the invite, giving me the idea to go out there. Fantastic time. Circa Stadium Resort, Circa Swim. That was a fantastic place. I will be back. That is a hotel I will be back at. Absolutely. It's a great, great place. Had an amazing time. The show itself, night one, not as strong as night two. I think that's very easily said. From my view in the arena, it was cool. The atmosphere was amazing. You know, like I was telling you guys, it's something about seeing an entire city get taken over by wrestling fans. You know, you're seeing everywhere you would go, you know, in the casinos, in the lobby, and, you know, at the pool, you're seeing wrestling fans. You're seeing a shirt. You're seeing this. You're seeing that. And I just thought that was just really, really cool to see. I was very, very happy to see that. But again, in the arena, night one, you could feel that, like, man, this is not as same as, you know, like in particular, because I don't want to talk about the entire card, but like we'll stop it with the main. Well, first off, you know, out of respect, before we even get to like the main event, I do want to address something that I didn't get to address on No Dirt. That's the lack of time the women got. You know, Queens Road, they acknowledged that, talked about this past week on Sunday. Please go back, and if you haven't watched that, our latest episode of Queens Road, please go watch that. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. But yes, there was a lack of time given to the women this year, man. I don't know what it was like. It didn't. I don't know if it was intentional. I don't think it was intentional. I want to say it wasn't intentional. I don't want to say, because I want to say that they're better than that. I want to say it's circumstantial, right? But what are the circumstances, right? So the women didn't get a lot of time. And arguably they had some of the better stories going into, or most of the stories going into Mania. But Hannibal, what did you know? You're ready to chomp at the bit at this, and I want you to. What was your take on the lack of time for the women of Mania?
When you said it, I immediately thought of that bit from I Think You Should Leave. You sure about that?
You sure about that?
Because immediately, I mean, look. There was this rumor that was going around, I think Sunday, that the reason why Liv Morgan's match was short was because of injury. And then she wrestles almost 20 minutes on Raw. So doesn't really cut the mustard. That doesn't pass the smell test for me. I honestly think, I mean, because the thing is, the women didn't have long on the show, right? The women's matches were all short. A lot of the matches were short, full stop. Full stop. So I don't think it you know, I don't want to say it wasn't a problem, but it was a problem of the show itself. You know, I think it was calculated there was about 30% of the runtime of the show was actual wrestling.
Yeah, it was 35.
That's the problem. 35.
That's about what you get on a Raw. Not on the biggest show.
I mean, we had to run that Hogan promo. I mean, what?
Yeah, got it.
We know who the real draw is here. Come on.
Didn't Hogan get almost as much screen time as the women across Mania?
From what I hear, yeah.
Is that a fact? Because again, I'm in the building. I don't really.
So
I would have to pull up the tweets. and it's buried in the algorithm.
I read that, but I don't know if
I
it was
saw-
facetious or for real.
Because I kept hearing about like the I'll tell you again, particularly in the building, you don't really notice the commercials. Like you know there's some hot dogging going on, but like again, if you're a fan, you know, and I ain't trying to point the finger at nobody here and nothing like that, but like you a fan, you're talking to other people, and so like you're man, that was such a good. You know, you're passing the
and you
time,
get to walk around and explore, you know, use the bathroom,
right.
get
So
drinks, whatever.
It hits a little differently.
So there's a lot of talk about the wrestling time with, you know, they put the stop clock on the bell to bell, but I think it's a little unfair not to include, you know, time for the entrances and stuff like that. I will say that because the entrances are part of it. You know, the entrances are part of the show, then as much as the wrestling's a part of the show. So how much was really like dead air time? Like how much was really there was nothing happening?
Well,
like, did it feel like that in the arena?
But to your point, Grumpy, like the ladder match had 6 people in the ladder match, right? 3 of them didn't get an entrance on TV. Dragon Lee had this amazing outfit with these great big dragon wings. Didn't see it on TV. They cut it. They were still in adverts.
I thought, I'm not gonna lie, I think that was a bit of a misstep, and like this one, and this is why I wanted to go into this particular part of the conversation, like, and not necessarily because we're not women. I don't want to speak for women on behalf of women and things like that. One, the women are just as talented, if not more talented, to the men. So it's not an argument or they need more, because we're not here to make that argument. I think we all can agree to that. I think everybody here will say yes, 100%. These women deserve more. I think this is more of an issue or problem on that the corporatized, the commercialization. You know, that we have to get these adverts in, we have to get these commercials in, and therefore, like Hannibal said, it cuts down on just overall what we can do with the show. Period. Ryan, I would like to get your take on this, and then Deb,
Yes.
I want to hear from you next.
The shows are not made for the fan anymore. Plain and simple. They're formatted in a way to maximize revenue, maximize ad dollars. Right? We've talked about many a time, you know, Endeavor went into X amount of debt to acquire, you know, WWE and form TKO Group Holdings, right? And the difference with, you know, because the way that it's presented is that WrestleMania is pro wrestling Super Bowl. When the Super Bowl is played, they don't shorten the game or have more timeouts to fit in more ad breaks, right? The companies that get ads will pay top dollar to get the ads in where they can, not, you know, force more opportunities for advertisements. What we've seen here, right, is if you look at night 1, the only match to go over 20 minutes was the main event from bell to bell. The only match. Gunther Seth, which was argued as probably the second best or the best match on night 1, got 17 minutes with 2 guys who could go 25 and have a good match. But because of the fact that, that you need the entrances. We need to make sure we could get as much money for you to put in all these advertisements. The Hulk Hogan documentary, brother. Hogan must pose, right? It's like, what suffers? What suffers is the wrestling. And in turn, what suffers is the fan. Because, right? People argue all the time that, all AEW fans want is the wrestling. But at the end of the day, we're wrestling fans. Regardless of what company you support.
Oh, yeah. How
you want to watch
my gosh.
To some degree.
Wrestling. Oh, my gosh. You just want the bell to like me and Juice's infamous beef or battle, which is friendly. I love him, man. Juice. Watch the Juice Box every weekend, guys. Please, it's great work. Not too long ago, he made a love letter to WCW, which is actually fantastic. Shout out to man Juice Springsteen. But like it's the with him and I of the Danhausen doesn't really need to wrestle. Why don't we? An actor don't need to act. A fighter don't need to fight. A basketball player don't need to shoot a basketball. Like okay, I'll take basketball players, right? Yeah, then you will. The argument is, well, you have your Bruce Brolins, your
Andre Roberson,
your Robertson Robersons, your Steven Jacksons, your defensive specialist guys.
You have them take smart shots.
Yeah, but if I need them, hey, I need two. Can you give me a bucket?
Yeah, you don't have Rudy Gobert shoot on the perimeter from 3. You have him get in the paint and try and get a layup or a dunk.
Right.
You have like for Danhausen, right? You have him wrestle maybe 5 minutes. Doesn't have to be a great match.
It doesn't have to be a great match.
You get the job done.
And so I say all that to say, like, you need these wrestlers wrestling. Like, you can have all the pomp and circumstance, you can have all the story, and it can look great. You can have the entrances and whatnot. Like, for example, I want to talk about the Nia and Lash Legend. That was a fire gear and gimmick, what they're doing, the homage that they did.
For Demolition, yes.
They got no time. They got nothing. You know what I mean? Like, here it is, these two ladies paying homage to a tag team that you guys just recently put into the Hall of Fame.
But they're not booking for the talent. They're not booking for the fan. They're booking to maximize the dollar.
And that's a problem, bro.
It's a problem when, right, there's increased coverage for WrestleMania, right? That much, is an opinion, but it's an opinion backed up with facts. On the Dan Le Batard show, but not in the wrestling bubble, the Dan Le Batard show, in the sports bubble, affiliated with ESPN and everything, they're talking about how bad the advertisements are to the degree that we see them. Not just the ad breaks, but also in the ring, right? We've talked about before, the corporate wrestling episode, if you want to go back and listen to it, the ads all over the canvas, the ads on the Slim Jim tape.
They had
on the turnbuckles.
Names. They had fans' names on the ring. Now, granted, I know they did it previously before, but again, fans' names on the ring.
That's not even the most egregious part. You know what was the most egregious part when it came to that? Was I think it was Adam Weitzman. Correct me if I get the name wrong. Paid a premium through, I think it was one of their on location packages or something like that. He's a really, well off NFT crypto guy. And he paid enough to where he got to sit next to Michael Cole and Wade Barrett with the headset, or headphones, not a headset, because he didn't have a microphone. But he got to sit next to them during the women's title match.
I thought that was crazy. I thought that was absolutely
Excuse
insane.
my French. I thought that was fucking insane.
I think the thing that came out most of all is that, to the point it's made, this is a show that is not only like the Super Bowl, right, in terms of everything, but is also a pay-per-view. Now, I know it's not a traditional pay-per-view in the way that they used to be, but there's a paywall. Oh, but it's free. It's free because you pay for your cable bill, right? It's not free. You're not paying a separate fee for it. You are paying for it. You just don't acknowledge it, right? Which is something everyone should be doing now for up to once. But the problem is that you should not be bombarded with that amount of advertising. If 35% of a show is spent advertising stuff, you cannot tell me that that's balanced or fair. It's far too much. And the problem is that, every year as things go on, this situation gets worse. There's more and more advertising. It's in your face. And, at some point they're gonna turn everyone away. And I'm just gonna have a nice, delicious Pepsi.
I think you're onto something here. And I apologize for going again 1-2 back to 1. But you said they're going to turn everyone away, right? And the idea that they're operating with is recoup as much money in the short term. But if you alienate your fan base, you're alienating your long-term money. And what good do all the slots for ad time gets you when you're having a hard time selling tickets, when you can't get fans in the building, when you can't get fans watching?
What was you going to say, Grumpy?
I was just going to say that it's the only way this is going to stop is when people start voting with their wallets. And like you said, they're going to start turning people away. I don't know. They're going to push until some people reach the breaking point. and there's not going to be any way to stop this until people just start voting with their wallets and saying it's not acceptable anymore. And some people may never. Some people will. When that tipping point reaches, I don't know, but I don't think anything is going to improve until it does.
It was 2019 when I cancelled my WWE Network subscription. And mine wasn't because of the advertising. It was because I thought I cannot support this company in the current state after reading the stuff about Ashley and hearing Behind the Bastards. But that was me. That was the only impact I could have, right? I'm not buying tickets to live shows. I'm not paying for the WWE Network. That's all I could do. But it was me trying to vote with my wallet, right? And yeah, if you don't like it, you have to stop supporting it. That's it. Stop watching it. And then it will happen. But I don't think it will, because the rumor was the reason why ESPN went in so hard with the adverts is not what it is about, everyone trying to get their money back on investment, but also because, ESPN paid a lot of money. Is it like $1 billion a year or something for the pay-per-view rights? And I don't think they've seen a return of investment as yet. Now, we don't like to get into numbers, and I'm sorry, I'll be that guy. The ratings on people watching on ESPN on linear, so not the app. We don't know what the app stuff is. I never give that out. But the ratings on ESPN were roughly what they get for SmackDown on a weekly basis on USA Network. So that to me suggests that ESPN, that the audience of ESPN are not massively into WWE. Means they're probably not paying for ESPN to watch WWE, which is why you buy this stuff, right? You buy the rights to certain sports because you're hoping that's going to retain customers or it's going to bring in new customers. But if the same people watching WrestleMania, the same people that watch SmackDown on a weekly basis, how are they going to see that return of investment unless they just fill most of the show with adverts?
Mm-hmm. And the big thing too is watch time. How are you going to keep people watching if you just bombard them with advertisements?
Jordan, you're famously someone who doesn't like adverts, right? You will pay the premium on a streaming service to not get adverts, right?
I don't know what's going on. Sorry, my sound is messing up. Dev, go ahead and finish this out, because you haven't said anything on the subject at all.
In regards to the woman, I don't think it was anything personal to cut their time as it was, but they were conscious of it. They realized, no, there's too many heads in there, too many creatives in there to not be a little bit aware of how things are being booked. They prioritize, especially Saturday, they prioritize moments. It was Saturday night moment. It was one big memento.
Moment mania.
It was moment mania, Saturday night moments. So, and they did that at the women's expense because they didn't want to do that for the men. Like there's a celebrity match, the Usos and Speed. Like that could have been swapped for a women's match. But they knew. Speed would have drawn the same kind of viewership, wrestling or not wrestling. He could have did that frog splash whenever they wanted him to, and they could have easily put a women's match. It's just things like that where people know better. What?
But here's the thing, Dev. The show, Saturday night one of WrestleMania, was 3 hours and 55 minutes. You didn't even need to cut a match from night one to add another women's match into it. Well, look at that.
Oh, but you would have had to cut some ads. Oh no.
What? But did you see my point? Like, the thing is, you're right, Dave, in that they could have swapped a match out to have another women's match on the card, or they could have just added another match on. Because the other thing as well, I said this earlier on No Dirt Just Dialogue.
That's why I was saying, Hannibal, that they did that on, I don't want to say on purpose, but like you are phrasing it like it's on purpose. And I'm just saying like they're aware. They know that the woman didn't get time. This is not accidental. I think that's what Jordan asked, like something about their awareness.
So you think that they knew what they were doing?
Yeah, I think they know. They just don't care because money.
They'll be fine.
Yeah.
And this was something that I noted, right? So from the end of the women's match, I can't remember what the women's match was now that ended night one.
It was
a tag. It was Liv and Stephanie.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the main event.
So yeah. So when that match finished, so the bell rang in that match. From that point to the start of Randy and Cody, and the bell ringing in that match was literally just under 50 minutes. Now, that doesn't mean we had 50 minutes of adverts, right? Because we didn't. We had the entrances and stuff like that as well. But you see what, like, you can't turn around and say that we've got this, we don't have time to add in another match when that's what happens. Mm-hmm. We've got time.
Hannibal, we had a window there where we could have taken over and hijacked the show, but we lost it now.
Yeah. Apologies.
Everybody's back.
As you could see, since I have a hat, I was told I was in charge.
You're the captain now.
I'm the captain now.
I got a hat. What are we doing here?
Yeah, but you always have a hat. It's like a part of you, unless you get like another hat. But anyways, move it. Oh, we good?
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
This is your captain speaking.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm having audio issues, guys.
Do you want me to just do what you text me to do?
Yeah,
we can hear you good enough. It's just a tiny staticky, but we can hear you good enough.
Yeah. And that for the people, man.
We're losing them though. No, now it's getting choppy.
Yeah.
So how about this?
Yeah, now it's like Predator.
How about you focus on getting that fixed, and I will move these gentlemen onto Hannibal and Grumpy's favorite part of the show, or what I believe will be their favorite part of the show.
The end?
Better or worse?
Oh, we heard him for a second. Oh, is he back? Try one more time.
Am I back?
Yes.
All right, I'm taking the hat off.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going?
Good googly moogly. Sorry, guys.
That thing is juicy.
Part of my travel snafus, I lost my mic. So before we move on, I'll go ahead and tell you guys. I always have some sort of travel snafu. Me and airports, terrible relationship. I'm either going to lose something or I'm going to get on a standby and get pushed back. Oh snap! My laptop almost fell. It's always something with airlines. So fixed, yes, it's always something with an airline. So having to deal with some technical difficulties, but we're good. Moving on. Last night we had Darby Allin defend his newly won AEW Men's World Heavyweight Championship in a stellar Dynamite match, no pun intended, from last night. I really, really enjoyed it. There was a lot of spots where it's like, Darby, why are you doing that? You don't have to do this. Good God.
Isn't that every Derby match, to be fair?
Who in God's name is this? Hold on. I'm so sorry. Who the hell is this?
Hey! Oh, I thought Slick was still down. I was like, oh, maybe I should jump in and help, kill some time. I knew bum-ass Dev wasn't going to do anything, sitting there with his twiddling his fucking thumbs. You got to learn to improvise in this business, Dev. That's why you ain't got my spot yet. When I get back from this injury, I'm taking back my belt, bitch.
Who told you it was open night?
Oh, God. This is great.
But no, it sounds like Slick's mic's working now, so I'll leave. WrestleMania sucked.
Come on, you got a bit
go
to do.
watch that Ultimo Guerrero Blue Panther match. That match ruled.
You got a bit to do before you go.
Oh, yeah, fuck Cody Rhodes.
Thank you.
Pay deduction. Talking his pay.
Oh man.
Dynamite.
Dynamite, yes. Good show, good solid show. Honestly, I don't think much happened outside of. I don't feel like much happened outside of the Darby match. I mean, we did get Cope and Christian. If they lose this next match against FDR, they will retire as a tag team. So
Come on, FTR.
Come
on, FTR. Come on.
Hey, I just give me the three-way match that we've been begging for. So
yeah,
top guys.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Between the Bucks, Edge and Christian, or Cope and Christian, excuse me, and FTR.
Does it count as a three-way if it's tag teams?
Yes.
Okay. So I just want to make sure the rules.
It could be
three sides. It's still a triangle.
It could be a six, but it could be a six-way.
I'm just gonna say I originally wanted it if it was gonna happen at Double or Nothing, so I could see it in person. Now that I'm not, top guys, come on.
Double the three-way for half the price, man.
But Darby, Ciampa. I want to talk about how this match really made Ciampa a star, bro. Like, I feel like Ciampa came out of this looking really, really good. Like, he's a top guy. He's a contender. Grumpy, what did you think of the match? And some of your quick thoughts on Dynamite.
Well, AEW does a really, really good job of this, and I've said this before. They make you believe. They build these matches in a way that, like, any given night, somebody could pull an upset. And the way Ciampa went out there and showed out like a star, he fought for every inch. And, there were times where you're like, holy shit, is he going to pull this out? At least me. I mean, I'm gullible enough to almost believe it every time, right? So I love those kinds of matches. I love, even though like the rational part of my brain knows what's going to happen, like I can still get sucked in, and I'm just like, oh man, I don't know what's going to happen. Oh my God, this could go either way. This is crazy. They do a really, really good job of structuring their matches that way. Incredible job. Ciampa showed out, man. He proved that he can be in those big time matches. him just doing the little things that I never noticed before because I never watched him in AEW or in NXT. I apologize. The things that I see him do, it makes me regret not really watching him longer. When he gave Max that little kiss on the ramp, just to get in his head. His whole
more of that, please.
Yeah, his whole psycho killer persona that he plays so well. Just physical and strong, fast, powerful, and my God, when he did that psycho driver off the ring post with Darby onto the floor, holy crap! I thought he broke his tailbone. The way he was like holding his ass and like calling for the ref, I'm like, he just broke his tailbone on live television. But
I mean, he could have done, Grumpy. To be fair, we haven't had the injury report out yet.
Well, so man, he got back in the ring and went like another 15 goddamn minutes. So he was well enough to finish the match.
He's a pro.
Yeah. So, and then the knees to Darby, bleeding all over himself. Luckily, Darby reversed the Scorpion Deathlock. I mean, that match was so close up until the end, and like they both really, really put on an amazing show. Both guys.
Deb, what did you think of the match?
It's a 5-star match based off of the tailbone selling alone. And I'm proud of Darby. I'm pretty grateful to Tony Khan for booking to Ciampa's strengths, highlighting his intensity and his competitiveness. Like, that's where he thrives. And Ciampa's entertaining in his own right, with or without good booking. So luckily he is being booked super well. Yeah.
You know what it is, Dave, don't you? You know why Ciampa's so good now?
He's bald.
No, he's been bald for quite a long time. It's because he doesn't have that bum Johnny Gargano with him.
Yeah.
Calling Johnny Wrestling a bum is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna
Well, you know what? Maybe don't put Triple H in your shoes.
Johnny
Maybe then
Sports Entertaining.
I'll have more enthusiasm for you.
That wasn't him. That was his wife.
Johnny Sports Entertainment.
It takes a special kind of wrestler to plank like Johnny Gargano does. Don't disrespect it.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
Was he using one of Cope and Christian's power boards?
Didn't he win a match via plank not that long ago?
Mm-hmm.
It would not surprise me.
Of course, it was an NXT.
Jim Duggan.
It was an NXT, Dad.
It was elite strategy displayed by Johnny Gargano to plank to the side of the ring apron throughout the match.
And then just fall in cinema. Pure cinema. Johnny ad reads now.
I mean, the match was look, Dynamite last night, in terms of in-ring quality, one of the strongest shows I can remember in a long time. That was because not only was that match great, but we had Mark Davis versus Will Ospreay.
I love that match so much. Oh my god, it was so good.
And the thing is, we were talking about it because we also do a preview show for Dynamite, right? And we were talking about it beforehand. And I said, it's going to be good. They obviously work well together, blah, blah, blah. But the story they told and the match they put on was just fantastic. Really strong episode. If you wanted to actually watch some wrestling this week, Dynamite really did a good job.
Yeah, if you're looking for but that's I don't think it's a knock on anybody who wants to be sports entertained. But
we're still looking for proof of life for Will. Don't know where he is. Don't know where they took him.
We will never know.
I like the idea of somebody on Twitter that I follow. They put out the GIF of when Vegeta pulled up and said, "Oh, you gonna kill Kakarot?" Nah, that's a right reserved to me, and I like the idea. Moxley's like, nah, Don Callis family, nah, this is my kill.
Bump that, he's mine.
Yeah, no, he's mine. This is my kill. So no, I'm gonna save him. We're gonna rest him up. I'm gonna make sure, because that's what I feel like he's gonna do. He's gonna rest him up. He's gonna lick his wounds, make sure he's good, and be like, okay, Will, you're at 100%. Cool. Let me beat your ass now.
Jordan, what about this? What about if we find out next week that the Death Riders have taken Will Ospreay to an underground cave where he's got to fight his way up to the surface and learn what it takes to be a man?
The Leo Rush cave?
Maybe that's where he's come from. I don't know.
Which, by the way, that's a man who's been maximizing his minutes. That is
not his house anymore.
Huh?
Yeah, I wonder what's going on with that.
You've been hearing him saying it's not his house anymore.
And then he was posting that on Twitter today too. So this is going somewhere. I'm curious to see where it's going.
Hopefully, whose house is it? It's not his house anymore. But that would be cool. Something to. But I do want to point out on that I didn't talk about on No Dirt. No, Leo Rush. Everybody said, "Oh, where's this gonna go? This is a stupid gimmick. Oh, what this is done." He's maximized his minutes.
You're talking about him.
You're talking about him. He's getting TV time.
I would still agree with that argument, because what is Blackheart Leo Rush? Why has he done what he's done? Why is he acting the way that he is? We don't know, but it's entertaining, right?
Well, I think they did do a little vignette thing on it, and on a collision, I want to say. Didn't they kind of explain why he's Blackheart now or something like that? I think, I'm not sure. I want to say there was something.
They did a little video. Did it really answer any questions? No. But
fair enough. No.
It was something.
It was something, right? I don't think we'll get the full explanation, right? But I think it's entertaining enough to where you're locked in. You're going to watch.
Yeah.
So, I like this Leo Rush stuff. Let's just go here, Ryan. What do you think about it? Because again, he's on TV again.
Sorry, I was a little distracted. I was looking at Mike Vrabel slander. But yeah, it's great that Leo Rush is on television. I mean, he tried something different. It's generated buzz, whether you like it or you don't. I think it would set a bad example to not put him on television for, right? he's invested in new gear. He's invested in a new look. He went bald, trying all these different mannerisms. People are talking about it. He has one of my favorite pieces of content from the Muscle Man Malcolm catalog for crying out loud. Like, and this is someone who's also shown to be a very talented wrestler. I don't think there's a lot to lose from just saying, hey, show me what you got.
He does a great.
And if you show me what you got and it's good, you'll get creative.
And it works. Like, I think it works. I think, again, last night's Dynamite episode was just I think it was a good way of saying, like, hey, for those of you who tuned in to Mania, and maybe you liked it, maybe you loved it, maybe you didn't, but hey, this is something that's not that. We're different. We beat our own drum, a little bit of a different speed here. Like it, love it. This is what it is. And because they put a little bit of everything that they had to offer. The only thing we were really missing were kind of the more of a woman presence on the show, but I think we'll get that on for Collision. But like, I think last night's Dynamite was just.
It was a great part of Dynamite that we didn't get to talk about.
Sure.
There was a great through line throughout the night with MJF.
Yes. So for those who are like, oh man, they buried MJF. Oh, he's got a short title reign. I feel like this is his story because he's doing very, 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 very well. Hey, I got cheated. No, I got cheated. That's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love this kind of, and it's not the typical like, oh, I'm going crazy, I'm mad. He's just upset. He's not going crazy. He's not delusional. No, he's just upset. I like that. That's real.
But it was the great through line with it though.
Sure.
Multiple times MJF came out to try and weasel his way to get the title back, right? And be like, give me back my title. And this was the first time in a while where MJF didn't have the leverage to get what he wants.
It's true, yeah. There's no diamond ring. There's no guaranteed.
Even without the diamond ring, he's not champion. He doesn't have the leverage that the champion has.
Yeah, you're not.
Darby's able to tell him no, and he just has to deal with it.
You're not champion. You don't have the bidding war of 2020, so you can't like.
He got dicked around a little bit by Kevin Knight.
Yeah. That's a very interesting take. Which, by the way, Kevin Knight, MJF. That's going to be another great one. I love how they're replaying that.
It's MJF's first time challenger for the TNT title with the roles reversed now.
This is cool. I think this is a really, really cool get. But let's talk about something uncool. I want to take a good chunk of the last bit of the show here to talk about this, man. So this is a show, a brand made for fans by fans, right? We are in the trenches. I just went to a show. Me and Graps were about to go to Double or Nothing, but me and Grumpy go to shows together. Hannibal will be at All In. Dev goes to shows when he can. All of
Revolution.
that when they're in his area. I just went to Revolution, stuff like that. We're in the trenches. We are fans, right? I gotta be honest, man. I'm disappointed in fans, man. I'm disappointed. This past weekend's actions of WrestleMania made me embarrassed to be a wrestling fan. Straight up embarrassed. There's gonna be a collision next week. Shout out to her. Straight up embarrassed to be a wrestling fan, dog. I kind of want to start to break these down and let's talk about them in the order of which the bullshit has happened. So the first thing that I saw, I'm gonna go from level of egregiousness too. We saw Buddy with the Pornhub shirt taking a picture with Megan Bain. Like,
what happened to Shane?
Sorry, was that
what happened
was
to
that
Shane
Sean,
and self-respect?
Was that Sean Hub?
The Sean.
Oh, Pornhub. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, misheard.
No, that's just mad OD embarrassing. Like, hey, look, if you want to, if that's what you like, if that's your site of choice,
but
whatever.
That's a grown man.
We ain't here to judge you. First note, to buy merch is crazy. That means you're one of the dudes that's in the comments, right? And that's the one thing I'll never be is in the comments of a Pino set video. Like, I'm not doing that.
He's subscribing to people like Spider Cash.
You know what I'm saying? So to wear that shirt, like, first off, I imagine it was crusty. I imagine it was not. It's probably, bro. Why are you taking a picture with somebody in that shirt, like a famous with that shirt? Like, bro, that's absolutely absurd, right? Then we had a. We're not gonna talk about that. Then we had the lady. Then we had the dude who groped and straight up sexually assaulted Elena Black at WrestleCon. Shout out to her for getting his face, making it known, putting it out there.
Navarro too.
Who?
Casey Navarro too, as well.
Really, I did not know that one.
He along with Elena Black confronted the man and got him out of the.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Okay. I didn't know. I thought he got assaulted too. I'm like, whoa, he grabbed his ass too. That's crazy. No, just absolutely crazy behavior leading to. Now, mind you, all throughout the weekend, we're hearing and seeing things. So we saw something with Royce Keys of talent being bombarded with fans, and I'm gonna. So started this one, and this is the crescendo, and then Grumpy, I want you to take over on this one. We saw what seemed to be personal and intimate moment between Bayley and
AJ Lee.
And AJ Lee. And where they're hugging, they're having a good moment in the hotel. I want to point out that there's a crowd, but we're not even going to talk about the dude that was being creepy. There was just a crowd just there. Kind of weird to begin with, right? Because again, when I was doing my smudge and whatnot, you could see here, there. I'm not, dude. I walk right past Lexus King. The group that I was.
I mean, to be fair, that's not brag. I think most of us would do that.
That joke,
WWE Speed Champion.
The dude, the group that I was with, because I'm not gonna name names, went and shout out and talked to Big Red, Eric Rowan. What up, guy? We were LA Knight was not like that was not that far from us. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to leave these people alone, man. So this whole crowding around them, I thought was weird. So then this guy, he's taking his phone, and it's like not even at a comfortable recording distance. You're already being weird
in the
by recording it. But then he's right. I can see the lenses on your camera, bro. You know what I mean? Which is absolutely absurd. Oh man, hopefully we get Dev back because I want him to chime in on this too.
Alexis King comment got
Advocate, jump back in here real quick.
So then he's trying to record. You hear Bayley, stop, leave us alone.
She pushed the camera away.
Pushed the camera away for CM Punk. Shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, like him or love him, but this was a commendable moment to me. Completely slaps the phone out dude's hand and just don't even say nothing to him. He just boom. I ain't got nothing to say.
Just to be clear,
No,
love him or hate him, not like him or love him, because I'm not in that camp. But he was spot on. Like, I'm not a Punk fan at all, but if that was happening to my wife, I mean, speaking fair, if it was happening to my wife, she would have actually punched the guy in the face. But that he did the right thing.
For you.
That is Mr. Scorch for you. But he did the right thing. He was trying to, because he doesn't know what that guy's like going to do.
I don't know what your intentions are.
No, so he did the right thing.
He did the right thing. So Grumpy, I want you to, because each of us, I know we got some sound off moments here. We're bringing back collective sound off because we're sounding off on you weird loser motherfuckers.
I'll tell you what.
Go ahead.
The Santino
the entitlement that people have, thinking they have a right to other people's space and other people's time and other people's bodies, bro. Keep your fucking hands to yourself. How hard is that? You were taught this concept in grade school. You keep your fucking hands to yourself. And the rules don't change when you become an adult. You don't become the one who gets a pass on the keep your hands to yourself rule. No. Get the hell out of here. The thing that really pissed me off is 100% Punk did the right thing. Slap the fucking phone out of the guy's face, get in his face, and say, get away from my wife. I would 100% support him in this. And then for this guy to turn around, first of all, TMZ, fuck you, TMZ. The way you wrote that article, the way you wrote that headline, as if Punk attacked this guy for no reason. Fuck you. And then for this, then they give this guy airtime saying he's not going to sue. He just wants an apology. He just wants Punk to shake my hand. Fuck you. Are you kidding? No, that's total garbage. And like they frame it in a way that makes this guy the victim. No, he was being a creep and a stalker and quite frankly, invading their personal space and could have assaulted them. But no, you're going to frame it in a way because you're a tabloid rag, piece of crap enterprise. You're going to frame it in a way that makes Punk look bad because that's how you get clicks. Have some goddamn integrity. Jesus Christ.
Integrity could go like that, and that's on both sides. Right?
I hate that TMZ even exists in the first place.
There's another facet to this argument that we're going to get to because, like I said, I left us time for this for a reason.
So it's just some people just don't have shame anymore. Don't have self-control anymore. They just have this air of entitlement. Anything will pass because I'm the one special one that gets to do what I want to do.
Hannibal,
people have no shame anymore.
You have something, Hannibal. I'm gonna get to Dev first because I'm gonna let you keep simmering. Because Hannibal, I know because you mentioned something because we talked kind of briefly, and you have a very good point. But Dev, what is your? I know you got again. We've got feelings, right? This is some bullshit. As a fan, how does it make you feel when you see this? What do you think?
I get secondhand embarrassment when grown men and just people in general just do stuff like that, and I get concerned for the talents. I'm a fan with empathy. I empathize with people. I empathize with Punk. Good on him not actually breaking the dude's jaw,
Right?
What
I broke your phone. I could have broke your jaw.
Could have broke his ankle or something.
Could have broke him.
Right.
Punk can kick really high. He does that little, he showed us.
What if he did a real life GTS? That would have been hilarious.
Yeah. And my concern for the talents are just why isn't the company allowing tighter security? These are people that get millions and millions of views on multiple platforms. You should protect them. They should not be able to get swarmed by stinky men. That's all I'm saying.
See, and I'm glad you brought up the security point because that's something that Hannibal, kind of was going at. If I remember correctly. So Hannibal, again, how does it make you feel as a fan? I know secondhand embarrassment, a little bit cringy. Because do you think, I don't know, I don't want to get too political or too geopolitical. Is this an American thing, or I'll even go tribalistic? Is it a WWE thing? Because I think it's a WWE thing. We've seen multiple examples of Rhea Ripley in the airport, Kevin Owens in the airport, so on and so forth, right? Is this, for you, I'll ask you on the geopolitical side, do you think this is an exclusive American thing, American fan thing, or do you think it's a WWE thing?
First of all, I just want to confirm that we do have perverts this side of the world as well. So it's not just an American thing. We do have perverts all around the world. Is it a WWE thing? Interesting question. I think it's more of a WWE thing, but let me before this gets clipped and screwed around with, let me expand on that, because I think it is, but not because of the company itself or anything to do with that, just because it has a much larger fan base. The wider
you're probably gonna encompass more assholes because you're a bigger company,
right? In the same way that especially on the internet, AEW, you hear people all the time, and we're not going to give them oxygen, but the idiots that are on there. Some of them have very weird beards and stuff, and they will turn around and say AEW has the worst fan base and stuff like that. And there are clearly idiots that are AEW fans, right? But there are many more WWE fans that are, and it's because of the size of fan base. Like for every AEW tribalistic account which is, you know, deplorable and says horrible things about people, there's probably 3 or 4 WWE ones that do the same thing.
And they'll probably have bigger platforms.
Right, because they've been around longer, they've got a wider fan base, all of that stuff. So purely by numbers, right? The more you have of something, the more likely it's going to cause that, right? But I'll tell you like my kind of experience here, right? I've gone to like indie shows in the UK. I've met wrestlers. I've worked some TNA shows, met wrestlers. Every time I've encountered a wrestler, whether that's backstage or I've met the last time I met Zack Sabre Jr., or the first time I met Zack Sabre Jr. was before a show, right? We were there a couple of hours before. We were going to get something to eat, and we were near the venue. And my friend went, "Hey, Zack Sabre Jr.'s over the road." And there was no one else really around because we were far enough away from the venue. So, you know, there wasn't a lot of fans around. And my friend said, "I'm going to go over and ask if I'll take a picture," because he's a photographer, right? So he went over and he said, "Sorry, Zach, I know you're going to the show. I just wonder if I could just take a quick picture of you. Would that be okay?" And he said, "Yeah, sure." Now, if he'd gone over there and just taken a picture of him, or if Zack Sabre Jr. turned around and said, "No, I don't want to do that," well, if he still did it, he'd be an arsehole, right? So you've got to you want to treat people how I look at it. You want to treat people how you want to be treated, right? So it's their private time. If you go and ask them if you can have an autograph or take a photo, or whatever you want to do, if you feel that you want to go and do that, fine. But if they turn around and say, "No, I'd rather not," you have to respect that. You are not owed something because they're famous, they're in the public eye, anything like that. They are human just like you. So treat them respectfully. And for the most part, experiences that I've had with wrestlers or celebrities of other natures have been positive because I've not made a big deal about it. Just going to ask them if they were, you know, quiet and, you know, not being harassed or anything like that. And it's been fine. But you've got to do it respectfully. And it was very clear from what we were seeing over the weekend that they were either just being completely disrespectful, or the fact I cannot understand how a company the size of TKO, not even just WWE, but think about TKO, couldn't be bothered to get enough security or any security. There seems to be no security around for these people. No. How could you allow this to happen
not enough
in a situation like that?
That's what's crazy to me, is that you don't hire in some extra security, right? You could have put out 2-3 months out, put out, hey, on an Indeed ad, hey, for a WrestleMania weekend, we need level 1, level 2, or level 2 security, which is like, you know, you can carry a firearm or whatnot. And hey, we'll pay you, you know, it's like an event. We'll pay you extra because it's an event. Because you know how I have a couple buddies who, if there's a concert in town, or hey, if there's a Cowboy game, for a couple extra bucks, they'll work security. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why WWE TKO didn't have that forethought when it comes to these fan interactions. Because Ryan, I want to go to you. It's just got like this, especially you, because you're Royce Keys fan, or what? Did you see how he had to? Hey man, no, I'm sorry, I can't take this picture. I gotta go. Yeah. I gotta go. Did you see? This is gross behavior, man.
And this stuff doesn't even touch the tip of the iceberg. There are a few things that I want to mention here.
Please.
One pertaining to WrestleMania weekend, regardless of the CM Punk situation, the Royce Keys situation, which I want to say before I transition, good job CM Punk on doing what any good husband would do. Good job on that. You protected your wife as you should. I think that's very commendable. But this isn't even just with wrestlers anymore. It's involved also. I don't know if you guys know, but Wheezy Blonde was hosting a SmackDown watch along in Vegas, partnering with Trish Stratus, the First Crush event. And during her time in Vegas, some fan thought she was Sol Ruca. And she was then, it's like the seagull. It's like the seagulls in Finding Nemo, where it's like mine, and mobbed. People mobbed her thinking she was Sol. People mobbed her thinking she was Sol Ruca. And it took someone recognizing her as Wheezy to get them to all dissipate, because they shoved the 8x10s and the figures and this, that, and the third in her face.
Hang on a second. This very much sounds like a Superman situation, because all she literally had to do was put her glasses on, and you go, Wheezy. Of course it was.
Clark Kent. But yeah, it's extending beyond the wrestlers, but also with the fans. It's not just at these big events where the fans take over the city. And some of the things I'm going to mention are a little bit darker. So if you don't necessarily have the stomach for it, I completely understand. In 2020, Sonya Deville dealt with a stalker at her house. There was an attempted kidnapping attempt in 2020, and the guy wasn't charged until 2023. And it affected her to the point where she would carry a firearm on her, and because she was driving in between states with the firearm on her to protect herself, because of the PTSD from dealing with the stalker, she was arrested for unlawful possession of a firearm, stemming back to that. Liv Morgan had to deal with a stalker coming to the Performance Center last year in 2025, and then another one that came to her house in the same year. And for context, when she's not in her house, and she opened up about this, and she said, listen, when I'm not in my house, it's my mother who's holding down the fort, watching after the animals, watering the plants and everything. Where it's not just these wrestlers whose lives are in danger, it's their families as well. And so there was a comment here. I'm not going to bring it up because I don't want to dignify it by showing this person's, handle on the screen. But he said, you guys are complaining about nothing. This is a free country. We're not complaining. We are expressing concern about people's safety.
Screenshot that one.
I will send it to you.
Screenshot that one.
Yeah, but it's a situation where, people are trying to justify this and justify wrestlers' lives and people's lives in general. Forget the fact that they're wrestlers. These are people that breathe the same air we do, breathe the same blood we do, eat the same things or different things than we do. They are people, and they are being put in danger. And we're supposed to say, it's a free country. See, here's the thing. When you're going to the Performance Center to try and meet up with a talent who's, there's no meet and greet. And when you're going to that person's house, that's trespassing. So free country all you want, but there's laws in this country. And once you break a law, there's a consequence. Stalking is a crime. And that's where we are at. So it's not complaining about nothing. We're voicing our concern as fans towards other fans who are crossing boundaries and invading personal space in the safety and privacy of these wrestlers. So complaining about nothing, my ass.
Complaining about nothing. So let me guess. This guy, you must be one of the guys who think it's okay to take these stupid fucking Funko Pops, shove them in somebody's face, get their signature off of their hard work, so you can then sell it back to another basement dwelling loser like yourself. Okay, this is the problem with wrestling fans, and that's why I pointed out and I said we're talking about you guys today, because as a show, as a brand that is made for fans by fans, this is fucking embarrassing, right? It's already bad enough that half of these dudes stink and don't wear deodorant, and there's already that stigma, right? That's amongst wrestling fans, right? There's already that bad stigma.
To your point, Jordan, right? There was something I had said earlier, and I think it applies. These people go to bombard their personal space, you know, with an 8x10 and a Sharpie when they put on 3-day deodorant 4 days ago and they're showing their crusty yellows.
Hey, look, I know that deodorant say 48 hours. Give it here. Don't even give it 24. Give it 20. Okay, give it 20. All right.
I know deodorant says 24 hours. Take a fucking shower.
And I know you want to go with the aluminum free. No, get the one with the aluminum. Get the one with the aluminum. Get it all.
That gives you the yellow marks. You can't do that. But the thing is, I do think this is a wider problem, just in general, right? Because we live in a world now. We live in a time now where we have a rise in incel culture. We have people like the Tate brothers, right? Nick Fuentes, 45, 47, right? Who make it out to be the, you know, grabbing people, getting in their personal space, doing all this kind of stuff. It's just fun. It's just banter. Don't worry about it.
It's
right?
TMZ tactics.
I just saw a comment about, I'm not gonna, whatever, but you know, women getting catcalled, right, and stuff like that. Oh, it's just for fun. No, it's not. That's the problem. The problem is that this isn't okay. We allowed this stuff to be okay. Through history, we allowed lots of stuff to be okay. My country becoming an empire, taking over half the world, slavery, racism, segregation, right? These are things that happened, we allowed to happen, and we know are wrong, right? We know those things are wrong. And this is what this is now. Because it doesn't affect you, because it doesn't bother you, doesn't mean it's okay, right? And as somebody who has like a daughter, right, it's not that I wasn't aware of it before, and I don't have to be worried about it just yet because of her age, but it's something that scares the shit out of me because I can see what's happening. I can see the culture now. And when she gets to that age, I'm wondering how much I have to build myself up in order to protect her, which shouldn't need to be a thing.
Because if they were there, would you let them walk by themselves if they were there in Vegas?
The wrestlers, absolutely not. Or at least, I mean, the thing is, dude, should they have someone chaperoning them? Not really. But what they should have is a whole bunch of security that is acting as a barrier between the talent and the fans, right? And again, if talent want to stop, I know we had this discourse a few months ago about the people with the Sharpies at the airport, Gretz, which is what you kind of like alluding to, right? But the thing is, if somebody wants to take photos, stop for autographs, or any of that stuff, that's a choice that they make, right? But that's their choice, not your choice as a fan, not your choice as another person.
Yeah.
So if they want to do it, that's their decision.
If I can
that to happen, no.
Yeah. If I can add on to that, right? I had went to and I'll tell the story where I went to Dynamite in, I think it was 2021. Yeah, it was 2021. And when, because when I was there in Indianapolis, I don't have a driver's license. I don't drive. I was waiting on an Uber. And, as I'm waiting there, I see there's the tour bus in the back. There are wrestlers heading on. Some of the wrestlers take their own transportation, and I'm waiting for my Uber. I see Andrade, I see Sanjay Dutt head out to take their own Ubers. I let them be. I let these people, when I was at a Dynamite in New York a couple years back, Swerve and Amanda Huber were heading out with their suitcases to wherever transportation they were taking. I don't flag them down to say hi or whatever. I let them go because they probably have a long night. They want their space and their privacy, right? Cody Rhodes, back to that Dynamite in 2021, he stopped to interact with the fans. He did a little bit with QT Marshall and went in for a group picture. I joined in that group picture only because he initiated it, only because he decided to interact with the fans and give them that opportunity. As fans, we don't force the wrestlers to give us the opportunity. We let them give it to us, and then it's on us whether we want to take it or not after they provide it. Right? If you, I get, as fans, you're anxious. You want to meet wrestlers. Like, oh, that's so cool. Wait for a meet and greet. Wait until there are designated times and places to do so.
And if you can't afford that meet and greet, I swear to God, bro, like if you just, the one thing I learned in this being in this, if you just act cool, they will be cool, bro. They will take the, so I told, so I was on the way back, I ran into Jeff Teague at the airport, bro. We in the middle of TSA. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, what's up, dog? How you doing? I was like, you just came from Mania? He was like, yeah, I was like, what you think? He was like, it was cool, you know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, cool, that's what's up. 2-3 people didn't kind of notice him, start kind of asking for a picture and stuff like that. I literally tell him, like, I'm not going to ask for a picture, man. I'm cool. He's like, oh, man, you can. I was like, nah. I was like, dog, we're in the middle of TSA. We both got our shoes off. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's weird. I'm cool. Like, I appreciate you just, like, saying what's up. Hey, good luck to you, man. Love your work. I'm keeping pushing. If you are cool enough, bro, you'll get it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've the number of wrestlers that I've met, granted, I've gotten to do some pretty cool stuff. If you're cool, they'll be cool right back. They're normal people, bro. They're normal people. One of the things I want to, as we start to wrap up, one of the angles I want to talk about here, and EJ has said this, a few other people have said this, is that this is the fault of TKO. That TKO 100%, TKO Endeavor, WWE, whoever you want to point the finger at, 100% could have and should have hired more security. Could have done something more. What do you guys think about that? Grumpy, I want to go to you first. Is the responsibility on them, or is this the price of being a superstar?
The hotel that they were staying at got leaked out. There's just too many people to keep something like that quiet. It's unfortunate, but you could have hired a couple of guys, if nothing else, to escort the women through a hotel casino lobby. The way they build those casinos is you go in the front door, you got to walk through the casino for half an hour before you get to the elevators that'll take you to your room.
Yeah.
You're exposed that entire time. I mean, they built it that way because they want you to gamble, but you're exposed that entire time. You can't just duck into a side door and get up to your room. So there's a long stretch where the wrestlers, the talent, especially the women, are kind of out on their own in the middle of a jungle, man. You could kick a couple of bucks down to hire just like a valet to get them from the front door to the elevators. That's how much is that going to come out of your pocket? TKO, come on, what are we doing here? The hotel, I think, also failed. The hotel has a responsibility to their clients, their guests, their residents, to keep them safe. There's just a lot of failure to go around. And it would not have taken that much extra effort to ensure that things like this didn't happen.
Hannibal, you want to give your take on TKO's responsibility in this?
Yeah, I mean, it is their responsibility. At the end of the day, it's their company. It's their responsibility. I don't want to get dramatic, but I mean, we have seen multiple instances where somebody famous has been killed by a fan.
Christina
Grimmie, Lennon, Selena, Dimebag, and they're just a few off the top of my head, right? And these situations can happen because you don't know when you're interacting with the public, what people are like, what their state of mind they are, all those kind of things. So there should have been security. There should have been sufficient security. It is not acceptable. It is not an excuse. You could have put them in a different hotel. You could have made sure that they could go out of a different exit, because the MGM Grand does not have one entry and exit. Okay.
No. It's very huge.
Big one.
They could have, though, and what they should have done is, like Andrew said, stay out of the Fontainebleau. Is it a little bit off the strip? Yeah, it's on the the deep end of the strip, right? Going a little bit towards Old Vegas. It's literally right across the street from Circus Circus, which is so funny because Circus Circus is a piece of shit. And then right across, it's Fountain Blue, and it's this beautiful, like it's in a literally.
Well, that's where they had the Hall of Fame last year. That's a hotel that pops in people's mind.
It is an immaculate, beautiful hotel and casino. It would have priced motherfuckers out. You can't get like in the way it looks. You can't crowd around. Like I'm talking marble floors. They got a thing called the Gold Room at the Fountain Blue. You know what I'm saying? You can't just crowd around and be there. Like, and I wore my NWO shirt on purpose because first off, real quick, this ain't no regular NWO shirt. There's heavy cotton right here. This is streetwear shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, you can't just be around in your Seth Rollins, burn it down shirt, just waiting. Okay, where's
in the Gold Room?
In the gold, you ain't going. You're gonna be out of place. You know what I'm saying? So like,
they'll walk up to you. Hey, get your money up. Get out of here.
But it's not just about the hotel, right? Because that is one thing. Yes, they could have done it in a different hotel, but they shouldn't need to do that. Right. The thing is, All In weekend, when they do All In at Wembley, all right, you know where the talent are staying by the Friday night because most of them arrive like Thursday, Friday morning. People know what hotel they're at for the whole weekend by that point, and people wait outside the hotel. They do, but they have security. So when the wrestlers go out of the hotel, security are there. Now, sometimes, because I mean, what they do, like before the show, because they're there for the whole weekend, right? They might, go out for something to eat, go and do a bit of shopping, whatever, right? When they leave the hotel, they leave with somebody. And if they want to go and take photos, if they want to go and sign autographs, there's a barrier there. They put like barriers up. People will wait and they'll sign stuff, take photos, whatever, right? And this is AEW. Right, this is not the industry leader, not the well established brand for 40 years, 50 years. The WWE are. There is no excuse why AEW can manage to make it work and TKO couldn't for WrestleMania weekend. No excuse at all. So all I'm grateful for is that nothing bad happened to any of the talent, and I hope that this is a massive learning curve because I do think the amount of backlash that's been seen. Because of what happened this weekend will hopefully mean going forward in the future, this is not going to be a thing again. At least I can hope.
Because even in, I guess to get it into the corporate speak, right? Because that's, we're dealing with a corporation here, TKO, right? In business, you protect your assets. The assets here are your talent, are your people, or your wrestlers. You protect them so that, one, you protect people, of course, the human element. Two, God forbid something happens to it. How much money do you lose as a company? Like, God forbid, imagine if something happened to CM Punk before his main event.
What if that Sonya Deville stalker got to her at a show?
We've seen where a fan was able to get to Seth Rollins at the show.
During the show, right?
Let's say the fan with Bret Hart.
But let's say after the show, right? Sonya's going to her car because they infamously they rent cars. They do a lot of the traveling themselves. That's a fact. We've known this. What happened? Is it on the arena for arena security? Is it on TKO? Like, we're getting and people are saying oh man, that's a little far fetched. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. We're not that far off from that, guys. We're not. We're really not that far off. If you think you can just come up with your phone like this while two people are having an intimate moment of hugging each, because what are you gonna sell? Okay, you got the picture of them hugging for what? What does it do? What does it do?
I could be wrong, but I think that was they were hugging to protect AJ.
But that's what I'm saying. That's
exactly like
what.
That's
what like.
And like I said, there's a time and a place, right? Yeah. You don't there are certain, for lack of a better term, sanctuaries for wrestlers, right? It's the airport, it's the hotel, and it's their homes. Those are the three places more than anything. You do not invade wrestlers in their space.
You shouldn't.
Right?
No.
You never, ever.
Dev, as our fill-in, I'm gonna let you get the closing words on this, and then we're gonna start heading home.
Oh, we can head home. I already said TKO. They don't care. Like that. I said that. I can't
I love it.
emphasize enough.
Okay.
They don't care about them. They didn't care about booking them. They don't care about their safety. They don't care about. Yeah, like this is another thing that they could have easily done, easily prevented, but they chose not to. And it's not, again, I also reinforce that it's not personal. Just like the carelessness isn't personal. They just don't care.
Hey, hold on. While it's up there, hey, anybody who you run up on Leroy, you running up on me, brother. I ain't even lie to you.
Leroy throws those.
We
potatoes.
will throw
Watch your
potatoes
ass.
for Leroy.
Yeah, we throwing potatoes over Leroy, man. I ain't even lie to you. Leroy, hey, shout out to Nasty Leroy. That's my boy right
That's
there.
the nasty man.
Yeah,
501. 501.
501.
We gotta get nasty.
Big supporter of Nasty Leroy over here. Man, no, I love this conversation, guys. I love when we can have these moments and point the finger at ourselves because we're fans. Like we didn't do it, but we're partially to blame. I don't care.
Well, let's not say ourselves. Let's say I guess our peers.
Our peers,
you were there.
Right?
You weren't putting you weren't like, hey AJ, how you doing? You weren't doing that. So,
again,
don't
y'all know who some of the people I was hanging with. I could have, trust me, I could have ran to my Twitter. I could have, you know what I'm saying? There's no need. There's just no need, bro. There's no need. You know, one of the greatest lessons from my mentor that I ever got. The very first thing he taught me, and I've told these guys this. I tell everybody.
You want a solo for this?
Don't buy the wrestlers drinks, or was it something else?
That he did. That was a big one. That was a big one. It was a hefty bar chat. No, you're not one of the boys. Point blank period. You are not one of the boys. You're never going to be, you're just not. Appreciate this as a fan. Appreciate where you are and that you can get this close, that you are a fan of an industry that allows you to touch some of these people, because I'm a big Jamie Foxx guy. I've never met him in my life, but I can name you some of the wrestlers that I've had an opportunity to meet. So let's be happy that we are fans of an industry that allow us to at least have a brush with the stars. Don't fuck it up, because eventually there's going to be no more WrestleCon. Eventually there's going to be no more meet and greets. Eventually you're going to see talent no longer want to interact on Twitter. Don't fuck this up. The onus is on you guys. As fans, we have to stop doing this shit. All right, get this.
And call it out. That's the thing. That's another reason to do this, right? Is because discussing it and making it known that this is a thing and how unacceptable it is. If it stops one person from trying to do this again in the future, our job's done.
That's it. Well, I think that's going to do it for all of us here at the WrestleCollective Weekly. Some news. Next week, we are going on vacation, so you will not see anything from the Collective Airwaves. So
don't pull up at me at the airport.
We're not actually on vacation. We're just having a week off.
We're just having a week off. Yeah.
We're not having a collective family trip.
No, not yet.
Like
the collective family trip is happening, but just not yet. Yeah,
we're not going to the airport for that. We're grabbing the RV road trip.
I'm traveling, and they can't fill my seat, so they're taking a bye week until they can get me back.
Even Dev can't do that.
If you guys really want to, we're taking a bye. We work hard, but we want to be mentally recharged, rest, and ready to give you guys great content. And internally, we've hit kind of another gear. We're on kind of phase 2, phase 3 of this. I want to thank everybody who's kind of came back and resubscribed from when we lost the channel come December. We're not that far off from where we started, and for this to only be doing this for 4 months back, having this brand new channel, we thank each and every one of you who like, subscribe, who share this, who tell your friends, those who bought a t-shirt. We thank you. We appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit that QR code up there at the top. That's where all the beautiful links where you're going to find us at. We're getting back active on the TikTok, so please follow us on TikTok. Make sure to follow each and one of these fine gentlemen here. Again, thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing the WrestleCollective. For those who I've met at this weekend, what's up? thank you guys for recognizing me. Thank you guys for being so kind. I hope I made a friend. I hope I made a listener out of all of you. But that's going to do it for us. Again, if you haven't, please watch this past week's episode of The Queen's Road. It's our once a month women's podcast dedicated to all things women's wrestling. It was a fantastic show, wasn't it, Deb?
Yeah, it was.
I love the bit.
Wow,
Yeah.
with that enthusiasm,
With
I'm going
that
to watch it 4 times.
Oh, you even have more enthusiasm for that than your 3-ways.
Then you're through it, right? But that is going to do it for us, you guys. Again, we thank you here at the Wrestle Collective. We aren't able to do this without you guys, so we just want to say thank you guys. Please, we'll be off next week. We'll see you guys on the following week. We'll be right back on Monday with Wrestling with Tism. We may be dropping a hot dog and a handshake. Don't know just yet. Maybe not.
There's definitely no Wrestling Tism next week.
There's definitely no Wrestling Tism.
We said we're going on vacation, brother. That means we're going on vacation.
Oh, we're on vacation.
There will be.
We gotta clean out Advocate's locker. That's gonna take us a whole week. Get his stuff,
and
packed up.
to fumigate
in a neat
it as well. If you do want to keep up, with some of us though, Carlos will be doing his spaces on Monday and Wednesday for the post Raw review and the post Dynamite review, and Like the Fuse with myself and the WrestleFish will be on Wednesday as well. So if you want to hear our voices, you can do that. But for video content, hold off. We won't be here next week.
We will not be here next week. Yes. So that is going to be it. For Ryan, for Hannibal, for Dev, for Grumpy, we are the Wrestle Collective, and we thank you. That is going to do it for us. We're out.
Peace. In the world of Mike Vrabels, be an Aaron Glenn. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, this is the Wrestle Collective.